Hello, my name is Chloe, welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing to you the mid-year book freakout tag. So what I did this year was I rewatched my video from last year to let me know the prompts, and oh my god, a year ago Chloe is so much less confident, it's insane. But yeah, here is me today. I will link last year's video if you are morbidly curious to how awkward I was in front of a camera then, and I really hope I've changed a lot. So I've been doing this video every year for as long as I can remember now, saying that it's only my third booktube birthday this year, so I can only assume I've done it 3 times at most. But yeah, let's just get into the questions. I found these really hard to pick answers for, and I've tried to go a bit more obscure on some of them and talk about books that maybe I haven't mentioned in a while. So yeah, the first question is the best book you've read so far in 2021, and knowing me, I had to pick 2. One of them is Verity by Colleen Hoover, which I read on my Kindle, so I don't actually have a physical copy, and it pains me daily. So I can't hold this book up for you, but this is a romance thriller, is the only way I can think to explain it. There are so many twists and turns, and it is just gold. The next one I wanted to mention was The One by John Mars, which I listened to on audiobook and do have a physical copy, so that is very exciting. But this is a thriller in a society where there is a DNA matching service to match you to your perfect match. And yeah, we follow a lot of different perspectives as they navigate whether they're going to use the system, whether they're going to abuse the system, and just love it so much. Next is best sequel you've read so far this year, and I couldn't go for anything but A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J Maas. So I finally read this back in January after reading ACOTAR in August, September time last year. It took me a couple of months to get round to ACOMAF, and I am so glad I did. This was so much fun. It was, in my opinion, the perfect amount of smut to fantasy ratio. Seeing as I'm not typically a fantasy reader, I did enjoy the fantasy elements of this. I also read ACOWAR and gave that one 5 stars too, but I haven't yet tried ACOSF. So yeah, I guess we will see what I think of that one when I get to it, but best sequel I've actually read is ACOMAF. The next question is a new release that you want to read but you haven't got round to yet, or something along those lines. And I've gone for Destination Anywhere by Sarah Bernard. This one was gifted to me by the lovely Becca, so thank you again, Becca. But this came out in February this year, and I haven't reached for it yet purely because I have a lot of Sarah Bernard books. So I've only read A Quiet Kind of Thunder and Goodbye Perfect, and I would say Sarah Bernard is a new favourite author, but I haven't read any more from her. So this is one that I have my hands on and need to read, but just haven't reached for it yet because I have so many more to get to. Next is your most anticipated release for the second half of the year, and I have 2 books on pre-order. Yeah, I have 2 books on pre-order, but one that I am going to drop everything to read when it arrives is The Kissing Booth #3. I don't even know if this has a title yet. It didn't at the time of me pre-ordering, and I just don't even know what this book is going to be about. So book number 1 is the formation of a very, very cute relationship. Obviously, we'll not keep talking because I don't want to spoil anything. And number 2 is the turning of that relationship into a long distance relationship. So if you guys know anything about my life, that is a situation that I am in. And especially with the global panini situation, I don't even want to talk about it. That has made my life very miserable at times. So I haven't reread the second book yet. I'm gonna have to try and do it before the 3rd book comes out, but if there isn't any news on COVID travel bans, then I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna put myself through reading about the long distance relationship, because I read it when I was in a much better situation at the start of 2020. But really can't wait for this, and I can't wait to see what Beth Reckles has done with the characters. Next is your biggest disappointment so far this year, and I've gone for Shatter Me by Tahara Mafi. So I've been putting this book off for so long. I had books 1 through 4 in the series. I was so excited to read them, and I gave it 1 star. I hated this book. I hated the characters, I hated the storyline, I hated the writing style. I genuinely hated everything about it, and I put such high hopes on that, and I'd been carrying around 4 books for so long, and they're all gone from my life now. Next is your favourite new author. So this can be a debut author or an author that is new to you. And I've gone for Colleen Hoover. So obviously I mentioned Verity at the start of this video, and I'm currently only about 10% through the second book of hers I'm reading, All Your Perfects, and I love it. So Colleen Hoover feels like the sort of author that I'm going to just devour when I get round to reading her books. I also have Layla, which I've bought, and everyone says that one's weird in itself. And I think I have a few more on my Kindle. So I just need to start devouring her work. There were so many options I could have gone here. There's Sarah Bernard. Now I've started talking, I've forgotten every author I've ever read from. Okay, the other major contester is Sarah Bernard. But yeah, there was competition, but Colleen Hoover is up there. The next question, I don't really want to admit to. It's newest fictional crush. And I have not crushed on a character in quite a while now, but I'm a massive Ryder fan. Den of Vipers, if you're completely unaware, I have a full spoiler-filled reading vlog for it with all of my reactions to this story. But this is it's 4 men with 1 woman. And my favourite of them is Ryder, and I can't even justify it. I haven't read that many like pure romances. I've not read any books with a really strong romance plot since reading this. And yeah, however disgusting this book got. And I mean, Ryder is responsible for the water bottle scene that no one talks about. But I kind of got a thing for Ryder. The next question is newest favourite character, and I've gone for Nick from the Heartstopper graphic novels. So I have started reading the graphic novels this year, read 4 as soon as I got my hands on it, and I've read books 1 to 3 twice already this year, and I am just in love with Nick. So Nick is the blonde dude, and he is the sweetest human I think I've ever encountered in a book. Like, what he does as a friend, as a boyfriend, just makes me want to hug him and never let go. He's just such a, what's that thing people say now, a cinnamon roll? Is that it? Is he a cinnamon roll? I don't know these terms, I already feel old. But yeah, absolutely obsessed with Nick. And if he could just be my best friend, I would really appreciate that. Next is a book that made you cry. And I really haven't been crying at that many books this year. But the last one I read that genuinely made me sob was A Kind of Spark by Al McNichol. So this is a book about Addie, who is autistic, and it's just a really quick story about her navigating the world, navigating school with a horrific teacher, and just like interacting with people and learning from both of her older sisters. And I just love it so much. This book was the most emotionally destroying thing I've read in a pretty long time now, and I kind of want to reread it just for the feels. Next is a book that made you happy, and I've gone back to a January read for this because every time I think about it I just smile, and that is Crave by Tracy Wolfe. This book is such a fun time. It is essentially a Twilight ripoff. There's a magical school. I will just say there's vampires, I won't ruin it more than that. There's a main character who goes in completely clueless, and at one time a vampire even gives this girl a copy of Twilight to try and get it across to her, and she's just none the wiser. And I just had an amazing time with this book. I still haven't read book number 2, and I feel like that's also going to make me insanely happy, but it's like a 700, 800 page whopper, so we're ignoring its existence for now. But this book, so take a bite on the front, definitely. It's just so much fun. Next is the most beautiful book you've acquired so far this year, and I had to go for a birthday present I got from Shannon at 155 books, and that is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. She got me the Penguin cloth bound edition. Like, look at these hearts, isn't that so cool? It has a little ribbon bookmark and everything. It's just so insanely gorgeous. There's even a little heart on the cover page, and yeah, I don't know what to say about this because I haven't read it. I do really want to read it sometime soon, but I'm just like not getting the pull from it right now. Maybe spookier season kind of read, but just I appreciate this cover daily. Next, and the final question, sorry, is what books do you need to read before the end of the year? So I did a 21 books I'd like to read in 2021 video, and I'm just going to grab the individual books that I haven't read yet. There are only 7 out of 21, which I feel like is a way better position than I was when I did 20 and 20. So yeah, I'm just going to pop up with each book as I find them. We have Angel Fire by L.A. Weatherly, the second book of the Angel series. We have A Mother's Reckoning by Sue Klebold, which is a memoir of one of the mothers of the Columbine school shooters. More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera, which is a YA contemporary, that's all I know. Girl in Pieces by Kathleen Glasgow, which is another YA contemporary, this one with a heavy focus on self-harm and mental health. Slasher Girls and Monster Boys, compiled by April Genevieve Tcholke, still never know how to pronounce that. But yeah, this says a powerhouse anthology featuring some of the best thriller and horror writers around. So hoping to save this one for spooky season this year. And a good note to end on, we have Finale by Stephanie Garber, which is the final book of the Caraval series. I have reread Caraval, I need to reread Legendary, and then I'll be reading Finale. So there we go, that is the mid-year book freakout tag, and oh my god, I'm so scared that we're already halfway through this year. It is baffling to me, but also such a sign of promise. I can't wait for this year to be over already. This year being over will mean that hopefully I've been able to see my boyfriend again. Hopefully I'll be way closer to finishing my professional qualification and just moving into a much more relaxed life. I don't want to get all deep about it, but the start of this year has been awful for me, completely awful. So reading has been my escape, and that's how I've managed to read, at the point of this video, 126 books. So finding these books out of 126 to fit the prompts has been kind of scary. It's been kind of difficult. I'm gonna stop talking. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really do hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.